Hi everyone. I'm sure you're wondering where I vanished, why I'm not sharing any book reviews, but I was suffering from a reader's block for a while. I focused on other things while I was not reading, and the book that I did pick up reading was a very boring book. I was not really enjoying it at all. It was not the kind of story that I usually read, so it was a little difficult to focus on it. So I thought I'd pause the book, which is usually what I do if I don't like a book, and then resume reading it after a while. Because I think I already mentioned this earlier that I rarely ever not finish a book. Even if it's a really, really boring book, I will just speed read through it and finish the book. But I rarely not finish a book unless there's some major problem with it. So I paused that book and I went back to my Harry Potter series, which is what revives me from a reader's block. And I spent almost 2 to 3 months not reading any books, and then Harry Potter just got me back on track. So now I'm reading a book, which I will review shortly once I finish reading this one. But because I have already reviewed Harry Potter in each book individually, I didn't think it was appropriate for me to come back and talk about it again. But I just wanted to let you know that I've been busy reading Harry Potter, or I should say, I have been busy rereading Harry Potter. It's an amazing series. I'm very connected to the series. I feel I don't know. It just I feel very connected to it. It's a very warm, comforting series that I enjoy reading. There is a lot of darkness in the book if you look at it from an adult's point of view, but I have thoroughly enjoyed myself reading these books. So I always go back to reading them whenever I am suffering from a reader's block or when I'm feeling down, and sometimes I just read them because. So, Harry Potter is my go-to book for readers' block. Harry Potter is my favorite series. I just randomly enjoy it. Once a year, I try to reread the entire series because these are book. These books I keep pace, a normal pace at reading these books, and I am able to finish these books, especially when I'm suffering from reader's block, which has happened after a very long time. To be very honest, I have been reading very frequently, almost every single day for the last many years. But only this year, I was not up to it, and I spent like a whole chunk of 2 3 months where I was not reading at all, which was okay. I think sometimes you do suffer from reader's block, and it's normal. So I'm not going to push myself or punish myself for it, but to come back and start reading, Harry Potter is the thing that will bring me back to reading. Uh, if you've not read Harry Potter, I don't know, I think you're missing on something really huge in this world, in this life. So you should read Harry Potter. But if you've not read Harry Potter and just watched the movies, then you're still missing on a big, huge part of this world in this life. So you should read the books because the books are so much more detailed than the movies. Of course, the movies are really nice, and I did start my entire Harry Potter journey from the movies. And I started from the second movie, then I went back to the first, and then I watched the third movie. So it was a little all over the place, but I read the books 1 to 5 in one go because my friend who introduced me to the Harry Potter world had the books and she lent them to me, and I read them and I became hooked to it. And then I had to wait 1 year for the sixth book, and I had to wait 2 years for the seventh book. So, and I finished the last two books overnight because I was so into figuring out what happened. Toppy's death was the lowest point of reading these books. I was so moved by that. I think I cried. Yeah, I did. And also, I got really emotional at that point where Bill Weasley was attacked by a werewolf and he was in the hospital wing, all scarred and hurting and wounded. And Molly Weasley says something like he was going to get married, and his to be wife, Bill Weasley's to be wife, Fleur, goes like, "What do you mean by he was going to get married? I'm pretty for both of us." So that was a very emotional scene as well. I got a little teary eyed there. I don't know why. Finding all these weird scenes to be emotional now, and this happened after like a couple of rereads, not the first time that I'm reading this book. So I guess you find different scenes emotional at different times of your life, depending on where you are and where you are in your life. So these two scenes were what made me sad reading the book, but I'll have to admit that Harry Potter is by far the most comforting series for me. I did try reading Twilight again, but I did not find Twilight as fun as I found the Harry Potter series. So, more points to Harry Potter and minus points for Twilight for not keeping me hooked. But this is it for now. I guess this should be more than enough for all the weeks that I've been missing, because there are a lot of books with a lot of pages, and I've been reading those. I have begun reading another book, which I will talk to you about, and I will tell you more about it. And then I have to go back read the book that I had paused earlier, because if I do not finish a book, the book comes and haunts me, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, continue reading. Happy reading. Enjoy yourself. We have the Christmas holidays coming up, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of time to read. So read, especially in the winters. Bye bye.